What does heaven have to do with making reality obey you? Everything. It's only when I discovered how heaven and earth work together that I found the hidden mechanism to rise to the frequency where reality has no choice but to obey you. And that's what you're learning today. So, how do we actually do this? We first have to beat the opponent of what I call the frequency of lack and emptiness. This is how society is running the world. And step number one here of the problem is that you feel lack and you think that you're the one feeling lack, but it's actually your ego. Okay? And when you feel lack or you feel that there's something missing in your life, you believe that you need something. Okay? And you believe that you need the money, the cars, that you need the beauty products, that you need the surgeries, that you need to look nice, that you need the love, that you need the relationship, that you need the success in order to feel worthy, in order to feel love or loving, in order to feel accepted. That's the thought process that your ego takes you through. And so you think, okay, that makes sense. I'm going to get the money, I'm going to get the cars, I'm going to get the surgeries because that is going to bring me happiness, right? It's only when you're playing the game of reality from your ego that you start to feel lacking and you go from step number 3 to step number 4. And when this happens, you actually achieve the wealth, you actually achieve the success in your business, you actually have the cars, you actually have all of the beauty products, all of the perfect apartment. And then you ask yourself, why am I feeling emptier? I feel lack again. And you move from step 4 to step 1. And all of this is a self-perpetuated cycle, and it creates the frequency of lack and emptiness because you're still playing the game of reality from an ego that believes that it is separate from the source. This is the main root of the problem that we're experiencing in our reality. So, for as long as you live here, how can you rise to the frequency where reality obeys you when you haven't even realized who your true self is? Because as long as you keep playing in this hamster wheel of lack and emptiness, and I've lived this for many, many years, then you will keep perpetuating suffering and lack. And it doesn't matter if you have all the money in the world, because you will still feel like you're missing something. And that's going to make you feel bad. It's going to make you feel stressed. And then what happens? You're going to go into the mode that I call chasing, surviving. Okay? Because you feel like you're lacking something. Then what happens? The present moment no longer has any value because for your ego, everything is a means to an end. And so you don't care about sacrificing your own health and well-being. You don't care about sacrificing your anything. And if you don't care about the present moment, if you believe that success and fulfillment will come in the future, let me tell you that you are greatly mistaken because it would never come. Because guess what happens? You will keep going into the cycle again. And that's the trap. That's the frequency of lack and emptiness. Because every mountain you climb, every business goal, and the truth is, when that goal comes, because you still feel that there's something lacking because you haven't given yourself the permission to first feel whole, worthy, loving, and accepting, then in no way can reality obey you because you're still in an identity where you cannot command reality to obey your desires. And this emptiness, this lack, keeps on creating this belief that the next milestone and the next goal is what will finally bring the fulfillment. Okay? So, how do you enter heaven for reality to be commanded by your desires, by your feeling? As you beat this opponent of the game of lack, and you start looking within yourself for the kingdom of God, for the kingdom of heaven. Jesus said the kingdom of God is within you. It's not out there. It's within you. So when I have experienced a lot of pain and I have the courage to sit with myself and to feel love and to feel that I'm whole now and to feel that I can give myself permission to be at peace, then naturally I'm starting to raise my frequency. And this is what I want you to do. This is how the mechanism works. Right now, When you say I am, let's say my name is JP, let's say your name is JP. If I say I am JP, JP is imperfect. Why? Because JP is simply an ego or a personality. So if I want to bend reality, if I want to command reality, I have to go into my true self. I have to go from I am JP, which is a lower frequency, and I need to rise to the frequency of my true self, which is called I am. If I say I am healthy, I can say I am healthy or I am sick. But when I just express being, when I just say I am, that's what heaven really is. It transcends your personality. It goes beyond words. It goes beyond identities. And it goes straight into that essence, into that sacredness that you know you have. Is that inner temple, is the kingdom of God. Your soul, your true self, is eternal, is perfect now, is abundant now. Your divinity is what everyone and everything is trying to take away from you. But if you put your attention on your divinity, on the perfection that your true self is, you start to raise your frequency. You start to go into heaven. How do we actually do this? What does the mechanism look like? Okay, first, you need to drop the current weight of your current identity. You can't go higher into heaven if you haven't dropped the weights that are keeping you down. To do this, the first step that I want you to do is to sit in silence and feel as you say, I am, okay? And as you say, I am, more and more, and you start to feel it, what happens is that you're letting this old personality and the weight of your old personality, the frequency of your old personality, stay here on earth. And that's okay, because as you do that, as you say more and more I am, you enter the kingdom of God. You enter the frequency of heaven. So do this, sit with yourself. This might take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. And when you start feeling like you're floating, like you're in this expanded state of awareness, that is your sign that you're now in heaven. Heaven is an inner state of serenity, consciousness, and wholeness. And when you're just feeling expanded, guess what happens? You're no longer the personality that is lacking something, that is bringing you down to manifest and perpetuate that reality again and again, but you're actually manifesting and feeling yourself to be just I am. No limitation, just limitless potential in the here and now. Allows you to feel wholeness now. All of those things that you thought were going to bring you happiness, all of those manifestations, anything that you wanted, the thing is not what you really wanted. It was the feeling, it was the frequency. And when you go into the frequency of the I am, by feeling and saying I am, then you start to feel and to give to yourself what you really wanted. And I want you to feel that wholeness. I want you to feel that love. And I want you to declare in that moment, we go into step 2 of the mechanism. Now, you have gone from earth into heaven. And now from heaven, you are going to choose what you want to embody and become. And so let's say that the new earth that I want to manifest is a new earth of freedom. Let's say that I'm experiencing limitation and I want to create a new earth of freedom, or a new earth of riches. I want to claim myself to be rich. And so what I'm going to feel is I am free. I am rich. This declaration, this command is a new state of what? Of consciousness. And what is consciousness? Heaven. I want you to have the light bulb moments now, because a new state of consciousness is a new heaven. And in Revelations it says, and I saw the passing of the first earth and the first heaven, and I saw the new earth and the new heaven. You're learning how to manifest a new earth. Follow the steps that you're being told here. To claim myself to be rich, By feeling I am rich or I am free in that expanded state of awareness, what I'm doing is on heaven, in this expanded state of consciousness, I am creating a single determined focus where my attention and my consciousness go. And as I place my attention on the identity, on the feeling, on the frequency of being rich, I'm starting to become one with that nature. I'm starting to feel how it feels to be rich. And I ask myself the question, how would it feel to be rich now? And when you sincerely ask that question, the feeling that you receive, the answer will come as a feeling, and you will start to feel the frequency. I am rich. And I want you to feel that frequency more and more, because the more that you feel that frequency, the higher you're going into heaven, the higher you're raising your frequency, until you reach that point where you rise so much to the truth of I am free or I am rich, that you start laughing and crying uncontrollably, because you realize that the only real reality was heaven, and earth was simply a reflection of heaven. And so in that moment, I call this the breaking point, right? To really access heaven, there's this ceiling, the new consciousness in heaven. And as you go higher and higher, your old identity that didn't allow you to command reality to obey you will try to remind you how in the first earth, in your current reality, you still have all of these problems. JP, you're still lacking. You still have $10 in your bank account. You still have all of these problems. What do you mean you're trying to manifest or have this new reality? You can't do that. And in that moment, you need to apply what I call discipline. Discipline the mind, discipline your attention, and redirect your attention to again feel I am rich. And as you put and claim yourself to be that, as you sincerely ask that question, you break the ceiling. And as you intensify the feeling, you realize that heaven is the only reality, that your consciousness is the only reality. And as you impress by saying, I am rich, you are impressing in your entire consciousness that new heaven that will manifest the new earth. And it will come without an ounce of doubt. But you gotta make sure that you don't give in this final battle of your old earth or the first earth or your old reality. And you need to give all the power to the new reality that you are creating. And this new state of consciousness will allow you to shift your frequency. And the opponent that you need to beat is this old frequency. As the last piece of the puzzle, when you give yourself permission to feel what it will feel like to be rich now, your frequency instantly changes to one of wholeness now. And frequency is information. And the information that you're broadcasting to reality is that you're whole now, or that you have the thing that you desired, and that even before you are rich on earth, you are now rich on heaven. And when you are rich in heaven, my friend, reality has no option but to obey your consciousness.